Hello. So hi everyone and welcome to No Compromise Parenting's webinar series. So it's me again, Natasha Reyes, your host. And okay, before we start, we would like to ask everyone to please enable your cameras or videos so we can see you. So we will be keeping your microphones on mute unless you are called to ask your questions later. All right. So before we start, again, just to remind you about that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Natasha Reyes, and I am a freelance individual licensed real estate broker. And I'm the mom of Eva, who's 14, and Zari, who's turning 5 on Monday, actually. So advance happy birthday to my daughter. And I'm very excited for today to be part of today's discussion, brought to you, of course, by No Compromise Parenting, a community for new generation parenting where you get tips and advice to help you become the best parent you can be. So last week, we had Drs. Jamie Isip Kumpas and Gino Santos talk about pregnancy during the pandemic, where we really had a lot of anxious moms join and ask questions about the do's and don'ts during this time of crisis. There. So No Compromise Parenting will continue to host helpful webinars for our parents that tackle anything and everything on parenting. So make sure to stay updated on the upcoming topics. Watch out for those. And then follow them on Instagram at No Compromise Parents and like their Facebook page as well for the latest tips and trends on parenting. All right, feel free to join our Viber community too. So we will be posting the link on the comment section below. Right. So we shall wait for a few more minutes for other viewers to join us. So, and as we wait, of course, we want to make this session exciting for you and for me and for everybody. So we're very excited for that, and we'd like that's why we prepared. We partnered with Nursery Van and your go-to one-stop shop for all your mommy and baby needs and parenting essentials. And then throughout today's session, we will be randomly raffling off 5,000 peso worth of gift certificates from Nursery Van to 4 lucky viewers. So watch out for that. Stay tuned and keep posting your questions there so we can also get your names, and we will be announcing the winners later. So please make sure to stay with us until the end of our live stream. There. Okay. So if everyone, we'll just wait for a few more minutes to make sure. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we can proceed now. So, okay. So today's topic, I must say, is very special for me, especially for me because I'm also an entrepreneur. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a freelance individual licensed real estate broker. And ever since the ECQ started, of course, you can just imagine the pause that everybody experienced. Like I just considered it like a pause. Like before, I'd always be busy doing like viewings or client meetings, but then because it's not allowed anymore, so that's what happened to me now. That's like my struggle because all the appointments have been canceled or just temporarily for them, but eventually we will continue that once everything is fine. And now that it's already the MECQ, they're allowing partial leasing services. So staying optimistic about it and continuing posting online on my push listings page on Facebook and Instagram. And that's how I'm coping. I just continue to go online and post all of my listings so that there's a recall so people will remember. So that's what I've been trying to do. And when the right time comes, when everybody's just home now and they have all the time to watch and view the videos. When the right time comes, when it's ready for everyone to go out and view them, they'll remember my post and they will call me. So there. So our economy is starting to recover from the pandemic, and some businesses have started resuming operations with a skeletal workforce as mandated by our government. And I'm sure that there are a lot of small-scale businesses and a lot of mompreneurs who are struggling and they don't know how to bounce back, because definitely the regular thing we used to do pre-COVID and now that it has happened, so bouncing back. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we bounce back and cope from this pandemic? So, okay, Oh, wow. Okay, so we now have 150 viewers, both in Zoom and Facebook. Yay! Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Right. So keep watching, keep adding. You can catch up for the rest. Tell your friends. But before we go deeper into the topic, we want to start off with positive energy. So guys, woo-hoo, it's Friday and you're here with us and you're watching. Thank you. We're also excited for tonight and for the topic for today. And we'd like, of course, we're getting ready for that. And as I mentioned earlier, we are very excited to give out the prizes. So we are now going to all right. So today, all right. So back again. So today, I'll just introduce, we are very lucky and very happy to have with us the renowned Professor J. Bernardo III. Woo! Hi, Prof. Professor J is the director of ACE Center for Entrepreneurship and Management Education, Inc., and the guru at the Master in Entrepreneurship Program at the Ateneo Graduate School for Business, or of Business. He's also the founder of Let's Go Foundation, leading entrepreneurs towards sensing global opportunities. He also serves as a resource speaker of the training of DTI for the small and medium enterprise counselors on entrepreneurship. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, Professor J. Hello, Professor. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Am I being heard okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. So maybe I should go. Thanks, Natasha. Maybe I should go straight to my talk, and then a little later we can all have fun with all the questions because I have 30 minutes. So maybe I should go share my screen. Okay, everybody see it? Thumbs up for everybody who sees it. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
So my topic is how mompreneurs and SMEs cope up with the business after pandemic. Now, I would like to center specifically on this topic of opportunity seeking and how to think like an entrepreneur. How do entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs actually think? Can we all read this aloud? Ang mga nakakakita ng hindi nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. Ulitin ko, ang mga nakakakita ng hindi nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. So, those people who have a different set of eyes to see the opportunities are the ones that will make the money. So you have to have a different set of eyes. Now let's try your eyes. No? Can you please type in your chat box whether you see, how many people do you see when I show this picture? Type in your chat box now. How many people do you see? Okay, I see 2, I see 1. Of course, there's 2 people there. There's an old lady and a young woman. I hope you all of you see it. What about this picture? How many people do you see? Okay, there are 2. There's like an Eskimo and a face of a man. What about this picture? How many people do you see? Take a deeper look at it, closer look. Ang mga nakakakita ng hindi nakikita ng iba ang siyang kikita. So how many of you see more than one person? Can I have a raise of hands or something? Well, the truth of the matter is there's only one. I'm just trying to see whether you're trying to fool me or something. There's only one person, but that person is actually Henry Ford. And the reason I'm showing this picture is because he said, if I had asked my customers what they have wanted, they would have said a faster horse. But instead of thinking of a faster horse, he looked at the horse and he said, maybe, and it became an inspiration for him to make a vehicle, which now has horsepower. What does it matter? The Philippines has been in a lot of crises and threats. And today, some of them, of course, we have drought, we have typhoons, about 20 typhoons a year. We have earthquakes, the latest one in Bohol. We have volcanic eruptions, the latest one right before the COVID at Taal. So we have had so much crisis over the last couple of years. But as far as epidemics are concerned, the SARS actually started this in 2003. Then the bird flu, and then the swine flu came, and then Ebola came, and then later on we had COVID-19, the coronavirus, over almost 20 years. Now, I've been emphasizing on this crisis, but in the Chinese language, the crisis actually means two things. Crisis in Chinese characters is spelled like this. It's called Wei Qi. And these two characters actually means crisis, but separately it has two different meanings. The first meaning of the first character, Wei, is danger. And the second character means opportunity. Qi means opportunity, which means that in every crisis there is both danger and opportunity. Both danger and opportunity. Now, some people might ask, what opportunities is there? Well, if we look back during the times as early as the SARS, when the SARS arrived, people started to become very aware of their hygiene and sanitation, and everybody in this category in this industry made a lot of money. People who were selling this type of product during SARS. And then there was the increase in personal protection. In fact, the face mask became very popular to be worn by us all over, every time, anywhere in the streets now, because of SARS. And people started to become more health conscious because only 5% of the people who was infected by SARS died of SARS. And therefore, everybody in this business, most vitamins and gyms and etc., their business was booming. What did a lot of us see on the other side? Whenever we're faced by crisis, we look at the dangers. Ang sabi nga nila, yung Philippines daw, ang Pilipinas daw, bayan ng mga praning. Totoo ba yun? Praning ba talaga tayo? And some of the dangers is that there were fear of crowded places, theater and malls. There were decrease in international travel because of hassles of quarantine. And there was fear of tourists, especially the Chinese, because people felt that it came from Guangdong then for SARS, and people were scared of Chinese tourists. Did you notice anything different from the opportunities and dangers of the SARS epidemic and now the COVID epidemic? Isn't it true that most of them, if not all of them, are actually the same? So in fact, if we already knew that there was a lot of opportunities ahead of time, then we would have been able to position ourselves to grab the opportunities behind the COVID, learning from the SARS. COVID-19 virus, however, is a bit different. And the difference actually lies not because of the number of deaths or how many people got sick, but it's because we were brought into a lockdown. Wow, we never experienced this in our lives. And now, in the last week, partially, the lockdown has been lifted. And we don't know how it is, and some of us are still scared of going out there. And we're now scared that the lockdown might be extended as we are still in GCQ. It might still go further for some people in some industry. And the worst is that the lockdown will recur, wherein the number of people or PUIs and deaths are getting higher, that we will be forced to lock down again. I hope not. But these are the things that we have never experienced before and have to prepare ourselves for. Now, here are some business issues. COVID-19, of course, when this hit, we were scared of how it might affect us, it might affect our family. We were scared of security and safety and health. That was the first issue. And then the lockdown got lifted after 2 months, and now we're back to work. And of course, the fear is still there. We don't know how the work conditions will be. whether we're going to get sick. The anxiety is still very high. And then now we will now experience what we are all bracing for, which is an economic recession. An economic recession will now mean a lot of people will lose their jobs. There will not be much money circulating around the economy, and a lot of markets will fall, and a lot of businesses will close. And finally, we are also trying to address what this new normal, or what will it be like after all of this? What will the world be like after all of this? This is the 4 business issues that we are going through. Right now, we're in issue number 2. We have not gone out of issue number 1, but we're now in a combination of issue number 1 and 2, and now feeling the economic recession, issue number 3. Now, relating it to some mom entrepreneurs, ever since the COVID, there were some challenges that was extra for a mompreneur. First of all, it's the balancing of time between personal, family, and business needs. Now, personal needs and family needs, especially children, was easier to balance before. But now you don't just have the children, you also have to balance your parents and maybe your husband and other members of the household. Keeping kids' education, to either teach kids or to allow them to go to all forms of entertainment like Netflix or like playing games is also a challenge.
Right.
Managing business and family expenses has become a challenge. Unplugging from work when it's time to unplug. How could you just do it? No. Battling the stereotypes. People have always stereotyped women to be something, but of course we will now try to challenge this battle. And some of us want to go into business, but we don't know, and we don't know where to find funding. And lastly, is finding business opportunities. It seems another challenge by a lot of people is that they don't know where to find the opportunity that they want. So I'm actually not going to cover a lot of the other things, but you may ask me, but I'm gonna focus on item number 7. In the entrepreneurship process, it goes like this. It starts with an idea, and then after having an idea, you put together a business plan. Whether it's formal or informal, you have to put together a plan. And then later on, you gather the resources around it, and then you start it up and later expand and maintain it. Fondly, I call it the generator process, the incubation process, the integrator, enabler, and enhancer process. Now, anytime that something goes wrong in the business planning, the resource planning, the startup phase, or the expansion or maintenance phase, what happens is that you go back to idea generation and go back to idea generation, and you have to rethink the business again. Now, there are 3 steps in idea generation. The first step is finding the ideas where the skill required is opportunity seeking. And then you evaluate it where the skill required is opportunity screening. And finally, you develop it where the opportunity side is the skill required is opportunity seizing. And this is where we usually reuse creativity and innovation. What is an opportunity? In a business sense, it is an idea that has commercial potential. Something that you can make money with, develop a business around, or create value with. So any idea na pwedeng pagkakitaan is a business opportunity. But this is your problem. Where do you find your business opportunity? Now, according to some books, the best way to find it is the inside out or the outside in tactic. The inside out tactic puts together all the skills that you have in search of a problem. So basically, if you're good in cooking, then maybe you bring out that skill, and then now you will now put up a restaurant. If you're good in sewing, then maybe you will put up a clothing shop. That's the inside out. Taking things that you are good at and then bringing it out to the market. The outside in is a different tactic, wherein you actually look at outside market and you see what is missing out there, what is lacking. So you might belong to a certain place and you might say, oh, there's no Italian food here. So maybe I should learn how to cook Italian and offer Italian food. So this is both the inside out and outside in tactic. Some sources of new business says that you could actually generate new business from prior experience. What does that mean? It means that you don't have to go very far in order for you to find business opportunities. By just thinking of your own experiences, you can already come up with different opportunities. You could go to business associations or webinars like these to learn. You could find seeing similar businesses around. You could ask some friends and relatives, look at your hobby and personal interest, market research, serendipity, or other sources. Now, my favorite way of finding opportunities is remembering this: crisis. Can we all say that? Crisis. It's way chi. Way chi. So crisis is danger and opportunity. But I want you to remember this in a different context. I want you to remember that, although there's danger and there's opportunity, I want you to look at every crisis from then here onward. I want you to look at every crisis with the mind of thinking of it, with thinking of the opportunity first before thinking of the dangers. We're already finished with thinking of the dangers. Can we start thinking of the opportunity first? If you think of the opportunity first, the faster you work on an opportunity, the faster you find the opportunity, the better it is for your business. So try to think, it's a life-changing thing. Even it can apply to regular things. Anything that you are irritated about in life is you are undergoing a personal crisis. And if that's the case, you ask yourself, and you practice this, what is the opportunity behind this? What is the opportunity behind this before you even think of the danger? Now, here are some potential winners and losers in the short term during the COVID crisis. And according to some of the winners are like medical supplies and services, food retail and food processing and food retail, personal healthcare, ICT, e-commerce, agriculture. And the people who are in the losing stage might be oil and gas, education, financial services, construction and real estate, automotives, aviation, maritime, and tourism and leisure. Now, this will already give you an idea of which market should I be going into at this point in time, or which market would need my help if you're a consultant. So by analyzing this, you'd already figure out which places you could actually find opportunities. Obviously, the first opportunity spreading all over the internet. Pwede ba bawasan na natin yung every time I get siguro about 8 to 10 people supplying me masks. And now the new thing is test kits. And everybody, of course, is issuing out their own food delivery, allowing everybody to make delivery available. And now everybody like us is in webinars. Wow, webinars is such a big thing nowadays. So this is the opportunities that is obviously everybody knows about this. So if you're gonna go into business, try to stay away from all of this already because there's just too many people in this business. But some business ideas in a post-COVID world is sell products online. Sell your expertise online. Can you sell your expertise? Are you good at online cooking, ebooks, subscriptions, printables? Are you good in vlogs? And the last one is to sell a service. What type of service can you? Here in my village, there is a group that just the service is that they will be the ones, since they're gonna go to the grocery. Some of the mothers offer the service of buying all of the needs of a particular household with a certain margin so that they won't have to risk going to the supermarket. That's a service. Some entrepreneurs, innovations during the crisis. I will mention. No? There's Rags to Riches, there's Fila, there's Pandemic, there's The Park, there's Mercato. These are all mompreneurs. Let's begin with Rags to Riches. Let's begin with Fila. Fila is a big company. It is actually being run by a mompreneur. They've been running for a long time, but look at how Fila is done. Remember, they also had that issue of being in a retail store in a lot of malls, and they sell non-essentials. You might think that are shoes and sportswear and all that stuff. But look at this woman. This Chris Albert brilliantly shifted and innovated her business and looked at the crisis as an opportunity. And now, initially, they said, okay, buy a Fila shoe and we will send some of the proceeds to the frontliners in order for them to get better masks and better items. We also created some materials that can help, some sprays that can help people who want to bacteria killers and all that stuff. So they initially made this type of seminar because they know if not, their business will be closed. There's nobody supposedly buying shoes. But here they're able to come up with new products and come up with selling their shoes and giving a portion of the proceeds to frontliners benefit. And look at this. Now they came up with what we call FPE, Fashion Protective Equipment. Wow. Of course, we don't like to go out there and be like anybody else. We want to be fashionable for some of us, right? So we start wearing, so Fila has this. On the first run that they made, it was wiped out. It was sold out immediately. And now they're already on maybe their second or third order. So wow, short plugging for them. You could buy this and it's good for people who are going to be working, construction workers and all the other stuff. You can now color code them and all that stuff. It is not just for health workers. They were able to shift from just being a caring company to being able to deliver a new product. Now you might say that's a big company. By the way, that's Chris Albert. Let's take a look at Reese Fernandez Ruiz. She's a social entrepreneur, mother of two. Reese used to make bags, designer bags, and people from Bayatas and Tondo were the ones that were sewing these bags, designed by designers, made out of materials. Some of them are scrap materials, and yet they came up to be very beautiful bags. But during the COVID, they shifted, and so that the workers can still be able to work, they started shifting from bags into creating masks. Again, fashionable masks for some of us, right? So they created masks, and now they still have people in their social enterprise moving. The nanais are still weaving and sewing for Rags to Riches. Joanne Litang. Joanne Litang was supporting her husband. She has 3 children, and she was supporting her husband in her business in outdoor school education. However, that already stopped, and the schools are not going to go online and not maybe going even outdoor. So what she started to do was that when she was in her kitchen, she started to bake. And funny, the name of the company that she came up with was Pandemics. Cute, right? Pandemic. Oh, wow. And she just found out a lot of people were asking her for cakes, and she started to develop different cakes only during this COVID time. Can you imagine? And now she has so much orders that her husband works for her.
Wow.
I love it. So I love it. That's and so these cakes are very good, so you should try it. That's Joanne Litang. More examples. This is Isay Gatmaytan. Isagat Maitan is mother-to-be. She's pregnant, and she runs Park Foundation. And Park Foundation actually teaches scholars and less privileged children the art of doing music, guitar and guitar, violin, and music lessons, and even dance lessons. In fact, before their business model was they had a facility for people to practice. But now they created and they changed these areas into content generation places wherein people can now do and create content in less amount of people, and therefore there's not much people for you to get sick. And she started doing classes, and she got a lot of entertainers and musicians who have no jobs, and they were tasked to do videos, to do 1 hour, 2 hour lessons for underprivileged kids. Now, it was such a beauty, right? Isn't that such a beauty? You could actually, they started a fund that can now create, and before they only had 22 scholars. Now they're aiming to teach 100 scholars, and they're getting more musicians and now trying to pay them for teaching. Wow.
Wow.
Vanessa Ledesma. Maybe you don't know her, but she really is the woman behind the man. The man being RJ Ledesma. RJ Ledesma and Vanessa actually runs Mercato Central. And Mercato Central was known for the food places, right? The food areas where you buy different sellers of small, medium enterprises. And that was there. But once, because of social distancing, they had to close all of those areas. Can you imagine? So what do? Well, what they did was they had to imagine what they would have to do, and they started putting all their merchants and the food stall sellers and started selling Mercato favorites Cloud Kitchen online so that their merchants can still continue to earn. Now, this is not merely concern for money. This is concern for your merchants, the people who were very loyal to you during that time, and giving them an avenue for online ordering because they cannot afford to put up their own online site. But beyond that, they said, oh, look, what about all our tents and all our areas? So what they started to do was they started to create the Mercato Community Market. It's a modified Mercato Central, wherein now they have stores, merchants that are selling fruits and vegetables and other items, and people are socially distanced in order to buy them. And there's a situation in places like BGC, so that because in BGC there's no public market, so now they are the public market of BGC. Look at how they have reinvented themselves. Here's my last example, Lalaine Ardina. Lalaine Ardina had a digital marketing company. So customers she does digital marketing campaigns for different customers, helping them to be relevant, managing their social media sites, and all the other stuff. So she has this business ongoing. But when she discovered about mompreneurs in particularly, she started doing a lot of mompreneurs type of business. Especially, she is a single mom, by the way. And she started using single moms and putting together all the mothers. Because she discovered, and I agree with her, that the mothers are the most, and single moms in particular, are the most industrious people because they really have to thrive in order to make money for their children. So she put together, and they need to be home. So he said, you know what the advantage of being a working mom is that you're so used to being at home. You already know how to balance the time. Maybe the only problem you'll have is your husband being around now, but you already knew how to balance your time between the children. You already know how to manage your business because you manage the household. And she felt that given the opportunity, you would be able to, all these single moms with very good skills can be good digital marketers for her firm. So she started getting different people to become part of digital marketing. Now, these are several entrepreneurship mothers that have created a difference as far as business is concerned. So my last advice to you, there's a 4-step approach in generating a winning idea. You have to grab opportunities through irritants. Irritants is just like crisis. It's just on a personal level. Every time you're irritated, you're in a personal crisis. So look at your irritants or the irritants of others and grab the opportunities out of those personal crises. Then unleash your wildest imagination to create big vision. Make it bigger. Transform it to win-win scenarios. Hindi pwede ikaw lang kita. Everybody has to benefit out of what you're going to do. And then serve others by making it purposeful. You have to be very sure of what their purpose is. Not merely making money. It is supporting people who don't get access to food. If you are in the cake business, then you are trying to bring back celebrations even on the lockdown, all that stuff. Now, if you don't, so that you don't forget this, this abbreviation is that it takes guts. It takes guts. For those mompreneurs out there who are afraid to start, it takes guts, but this type of guts. So I will end by reminding you of this. Wei Qi. But I want you to remember this in a different way, because when I went to the Chinese-Filipino Business Commerce, they told me, sir, you could actually remember it in reverse. You could actually Qi Wei, and maybe I want you to remember crisis this way. Qi Wei, because I want you to think of the opportunity first. Think of the opportunity first, because if you do, then you would see the opportunities around you. But if you think of the danger first, you might be drowned by all the danger that you will no longer be able to work on the opportunity. There's one last thing that I'd like to share. And right now I'm the interim president of Bayan Foundation, and we actually lend in Bayan Edge, we actually lend a lot of mompreneurs startup capital in order to be able to run businesses. And what I've noticed is that a lot of our portfolio are women. Not only just women, they're actually mompreneurs. Mompreneurs are very reliable. They're very reliable payers. They're very good in budgeting. And that's why we lend them. And 30% of our economy actually right now is because of mompreneurs. Mompreneurs is going to be the key to the bounce back of our country. I need and I want all of you to be able, and I want to find ways to support all of you to be able to start your own business. Or if your business died for a while, reimagine and rethink it, because we will need you to help us rebuild the economy. The mompreneurs, it's your time to shine. Your time to shine. And I call you this, right? I call the mompreneurs my Shiro. You are going to be the next Shiro. Look at that, the girl with the superwoman at the back, shadow.
Wow.
So with that, I thank you. This is my wife and my mother-in-law who gets mad at me because I always sit around my computer and not help her out in budgeting and blank. She's the commander-in-chief of our house, and she's the mompreneur. She's been doing a lot of businesses. And I've been made useless aside from talking in webinars like these. So I hope you have enjoyed my talk. If you want to write me any questions, even if we're not going to be able to answer all of them, you can write me in my email or my Instagram or my Facebook. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Natasha.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much, everybody. Big round of applause, of course. Thank you, Professor J. Actually, it's very, what your talk exactly is like the message, not just for the mompreneurs, but in general, just to give hope. Actually, it gives me hope, and I hope the other mompreneurs also felt that that's something that they can they could start with something, with what we just heard from you. So, I mean, that definitely focus on the opportunities. I mean, moms there, how do you feel now after listening to the talk? Isn't it great? Thank you, Sergey. So inspiring. I mean, also, I'm sure the other moms, and that's right. So I'm learning from everything that you told us and you shared with us. Thank you. And exactly, I actually also believe, Sergey, that's right. The moms, they're resourceful, the mompreneurs, resourceful in the heart, and they're, they balance like everything from the business to the children. Even at the end of the day, business, yes, but eventually, definitely family, of course. So that's great.
Yeah, men are lousy at that. Mothers are very good at it.
Okay.
I admit, men are lousy at it.
So men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Thank you, Prof. Jay. Well, please wait. I'm just gonna announce them. So we're gonna go first to the raffle. We'll be right back with the questions later.
Okay.
So okay now. So it's time for our first raffle, guys. Are you guys ready? All right. Here we go. So the first raffle. Now time to choose our first winner from our 195 winners. Wow. And our first lucky winner of a 500 peso GC is Miss Suzanne Sevilla. Congratulations! Miss Suzanne Sevilla, congratulations to the winner of the first raffle, 500 peso worth of GC. Okay, and now moving on to the second raffle. This time it's worth 1,000 pesos, so worth of GC. So before we proceed, let's find out who the second lucky viewer is. And the second prize winner, again, as I mentioned, will get 1,000 peso GC from Nursery Van. And she is Miss Ivy Lisa Ancheta. Wow, congratulations. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for instructions on how to claim. So, all right, so the first one, Miss Suzanne Sevilla and Miss Ivy Lisa Ancheta. All right, now we move naman, Professor, to our question and answer portion. Okay. Here we go. Of course, we have those who watched, they also have questions, and we'll just insert a few questions for that. So here we go. We shall begin. All right, we'll start with a question from Ms. Ana Lopez Wage. How can moms manage time when they have babies? This is from Facebook, question from Facebook.
How can mom manage times when they have?
Time. Like basically, they're just, when they're home and taking care of the babies and manage the time with their business or whatever the business they're doing right now, if online or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder how, but but really it's a matter of planning and a matter of discipline. There's a lot of things to manage. No, it's not just the kid; it's also the self. You need to exercise, stay healthy. Some of you need to prepare the meals for the family. Some of you need to still take care, look after the parents, even call them. There's a lot to manage. It's really, there's two things that I'd suggest. No, one is that, of course, you have to really delegate the time. You know what time your children sleep, so you should be able to control and discipline yourself that this is the time that I will do business at that point. No? And then the second is to learn to delegate and use other people, specifically people who are not doing anything, like your husband. So you ask them to do, especially now, if they're home, then of course you can ask them to do other things that you used to burden you. But you can also ask other friends or other people within the household to help you manage. You know, for example, when we do webinars, there are a lot of people nowadays who could help you do webinars.
Yeah, right? For me, Professor is my eldest daughter. She was the one who helped me with the digital, like the vlog on YouTube, because they're so knowledgeable. And like, how do I do this? She taught me. Very good help. Thanks to my eldest.
See, so you could get help from all types of people, even your children. Especially who are naive about technology, they don't have to be taught about technology. So those things, even online ordering, where to find, how to promote, your children know that.
Yes, and they're going to be very helpful for sure.
Yeah. So let delegate. Let other people do stuff for you.
All right. Okay, so thank you for that. Now, another question, and we'd like to encourage all those who are watching right now, please do type in your questions, and we'd be glad to answer them as long as we'll include them here. So, but we have another one from Bay Gambala Edeher, also from Facebook. What are ways to stand out with online selling?
What are ways to stand out with? First, there's so many people selling. The key is really niching, finding out a particular market. Don't sell to everybody. You have to understand who you're selling to, so that when you understand a particular niche, for example, if I'm selling to mompreneurs, I already know that they're busy. And I already know that their time to go to the internet might be between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. before anybody wakes up, or at 9 p.m. So I know when to post.
Right.
I know which seminars they'll be interested in. I know. So you have to understand and niche particularly who your target market is. And then don't sell to everybody in the world. Please don't do that. Choose who you are selling to and then concentrate on that.
Okay. So what about like the food? Like it's like the inside out, and the mommy really, that's, as you mentioned a while ago, she can really cook. She can cook well, and then she does that catering to everyone. But then maybe a special dish or something.
Even if you're in food, who's your target market? Is it the upper A? Is it within your village geographically? Is it because of just within your village? Is it you have to choose who are the ones. For example, I crave for chocolates all the time. So anybody selling chocolates out there, if you just knew that the people who crave for chocolates are searching for chocolate, because the only thing I have in my household, which my wife allows or buys, is fruits and vegetables. So I'm starving.
Healthy, nutritious, and delicious.
Yeah. So see,
at night, Professor, you order online delivery na secret delivery the next day, and then you wake up early to get it.
I find ways for people to find me. To find the target market, you see? So don't just sell to everybody. You'd know. So very niche, and then create the packages and the based on the exact target market that you have. Start with that.
And I also believe like what I do when I have friends who are like starting other business, especially now during the COVID, I support them. I start with my friends because I see them on my Instagram and Facebook. So if as much as possible, I try to help friends and family, but so I can try first, and then eventually support, also promote, and also
because friends are more forgiving.
Right, but let's spread the word and spread the good.
No, try. You could start with friends. They're your sample group,
and family,
and then later on you would figure out based on your friends who is the particular target market for this product.
Okay, so make it more specific, right? Yes. Okay. So next one, actually, it's kind of also similar, but how can this is from Christine Prado. How can I make sure I attract the right customers? What should be to attract?
How
to make sure that she will attract the right customers?
Again, it depends. You could choose different types of customers, right? So if you're trying to teach, for example, will I teach deaf ed teachers, or will I teach entrepreneurs, or will I teach mompreneurs? So, for example, now, if I wanted to go and teach mompreneurship, I would go to your group, right? Because I'm sure you already have a network of this group, right? So I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and look for all my mothers. I'll just partner with particular groups or find associations that have this particular people already there. So then you could ensure that you're in the right profile of the market.
That's right. It's easier now because you can easily find the groups like on Facebook or even with your friends your group. So it's easier now to know directly who you want to spread the word to or to promote your product or whatever.
Yeah, it's so easy. You put something, you put it in your Facebook page, a picture of it, or in Instagram. Everybody who likes becomes your customer immediately.
Yeah. So for every like, all those who like should buy also. If you like it, you buy.
All those who like, that is part of your targeted market.
Oh,
So you don't waste time on people who are just liking because they like you, but because
Yeah.
they're part of the target market. So you prioritize that way.
Right. Okay. And also, so those who are watching us through Zoom, please ask questions also in our chat. Please continue to do that as we continue with the question and answer portion. So, other question and answer portion and our contestant. Here we go with the next one. Now it's from Mr. Nel Lopez, and the question is, how do I sustain current business ideas that are relevant or heavily related to COVID?
Oh, that's a different lecture altogether. I give this lecture. But at this point, you have to reimagine your business. You have to reimagine your business. Who will your customers be in the new normal? This is what you really need to do. And then reimagine, not only reimagine the product or service, but reimagine how you will deliver it and how you, but this is where everybody is at this point. Now we are still in the abnormal, not the new normal. So as far as business is concerned, of course, you need to do all the cash flow analysis and looking at inventories, very technical stuff. No, you could write me. I have a whole lecture on that, on how to sustain yourself.
Yes, it's Nel Lopez. You can send a message to on your group or Facebook.
See, Natasha, you see?
Yes.
Gina Panyo, write me. I sell 100% dark chocolate. Woo! I'm your market. There you go.
You got it. Exactly.
You see?
That's why we need webinars or groups like this, so we know, okay, that's what you need. I have this. Okay, what you've been looking for.
And then I will tell you to everybody else who's looking for chocolates in my family and my friends.
Yes, spread the word and help everybody survive at this time. So that's good. All right, so that's a good thing. An instant promotion, and you have now a supplier, so that's good. You're sourced for that. Rob. All right, so we have now here what we'd like to also ask. Well, just another question from Ms. Ana Lopez Wahe also. Is there any group or samahan na nag-offer ng business for moms? Any group
I think there's actually a lot of groups. There's a lot
offering
of groups,
business.
not offering business, but there's a lot of women groups. There's a lot of women entrepreneurship groups, and they can all help you out and support each other. There are some groups like Lalaine earlier, who is in a digital marketing company. She's just focused on mothers.
Oh,
right?
perfect. For Ms. Ana Lopez Wahe,
Yeah, just mothers. And she really she doesn't want full-time mothers. She wants people who work from home. Right? So that's exactly her profile.
Right.
I can give you the details of Lalaine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can ask him later. Or we can connect. You're now connecting these increase to the source. All right. And what now we have from Ms. Ann Lim. As a mompreneur, I rely heavily on events. Now that events are not happening, aside from online, what other possible venues where we can sell? It's para sa mercado, they're always events, right?
I always venue is difficult. I mean, if it's a place, it is difficult. Okay, but I always tell this to people that the best place, the best timing for people to sell is when they are happy. If you catch them in a time of happiness, so you have to be. That is the time to sell, because when you're in a good mood, when you experience something, or it's your birthday, etc. Oh my gosh, you will buy anything and everything, isn't it? And sometimes you buy more than what you should be buying, right?
I agree.
Now,
for example, I've experienced that before.
Right now, if you were very happy with my talk today and all that stuff, maybe I could tell you something, right? And you buy because right. So that is, so don't look for the place. Don't look for the place. create the moment of happiness and be there to sell. Because when you make people happy, wow, you
Make
touch
people
the
happy.
heart, you touch the heart, and the wallet pops out.
Yeah. You make them happy. But that's right. Good mood equals parang you like to just want to get it out of your wallet and spend. It's like,
So it's not a place.
Not even
Not a
considering
place.
that. Yes, and now especially just home online, a lot of online selling. It's because people are just home, and of course you have the attention. Like people, they cannot go out, so they do the online selling, and everybody's checking and going through that. So you'll definitely find a lot online now. So and then also, Prof, we'd like to call Miss Margot Inoncillo. I think she'll ask a question. So Miss Margot Inoncillo has a question for you. All right.
Hi, Natasha. Hi, Prof. J.
Hi, Margot.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My question is, well, I'll just reread what I posted. What advice can you give to mompreneurs who have limited funds and are scared to fail with their business? I mean, the fear of losing a chunk of their savings sometimes overcomes their drive to do business.
Yes, of course, you have to protect what you have to protect, right? Because there are a lot of groups that are lending money, and they specifically try to lend to mothers and to womenpreneurs. I could tell you one. I told you, Bayan Edge or Bayan Foundation, they lend to mompreneurs specifically. If you type women fund COVID, let's say women fund for COVID, you would see so many different groups that are bringing out money, but to be lent only to women.
Oh.
So
Specifically,
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. If I had money now, I would lend only a woman because I trust them more because they could secure my money, right? They could take care of the budget and all that stuff. I mean, if I was just a mom entrepreneur, I'd rather invest on a woman entrepreneur right now, especially a mother, right?
Oh, that's
Because
good to
there's
hear.
more concerns. Yeah, kasi syempre, if it's single, they might go shopping with it. But a mother will definitely try to hold the family name and make things work out. And she's very used to handling money and budgeting money. So she's going to be very, very careful with it. So short answer to your question, type it and you will see several groups donating money on that for women entrepreneurs only.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you,
If
Prof.
not, I can find more for you.
All right. Thank
Thank you, Ms. Margot, for your question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, Prof, our next one, we also would like to call the beach town. Okay, so another question, so we'll prepare the beach town.
I think the beach town is not here anymore, but you can ask her question instead.
Okay. All right. So beach town number. So we'll just ask to send a question.
No, ask the question. What is the question?
The question of beach town. Not here. It's supposed to be online, but we can get.
No, I think I have it here. I have a business
Okay.
that's travel related. How do I build a resilient business? Oh my gosh. This is one of the biggest industries that will be hit. Travel. And it's going to be a bit, please ask it. We are in travel. Okay, that is going to be very tough, no? But you have to find a different way because travel, they say, is not going to come back until maybe 2021 or 2022, especially if you're in the airline business. Okay, so that's going to be different. But this is what I tell people. How can you imagine, can you really imagine bringing the travel experience to your home? How do you do that? How can it be done? There are several people who are doing business in field trips, and when they started reimagining how to do it, and now they bring field trips to VR goggles, to other activities that can bring the travel experience to the home at this moment in time. But to be honest, travel, you really have to reinvent your business, especially if you're in the travel industry. But if you are in the hospitality, oh, maybe there's a chance because your room spaces can be used for other things. It can be used to reward frontliners, to give them a relaxed package, right? And all. So
Yeah.
travel is a
Travel
little
and
bit harder.
tourism.
Yeah.
Travel and tourism, Prof, no? Because,
But you know, at the end, maybe you could sell gift certificates at this point, as early. Of course, people will buy gift certificates, can use it for 2021. But it should be lower, 20% off, 30%, 50% off for that matter, right? And that's the only which way. You get cash, the businesses get cash as well, but the only way is to get GCs at this point, to sell GCs really.
okay. But we also have here, Prof, a question from Ms. Kitten Pabalan. Kitten Pabalan here. And here, the question is, any interesting ideas on how to supplement the online distance learning of students? So, how to supplement the online online distance learning of students?
The key role to supplement the key role here is the mother and the other members of the household. Because although before we were never teachers, now we're gonna have to become teachers. To put some variation as parents. Yeah. Because now, before it's going online, but to put variation to the child, the activity has to be done together with the parent. For example, if I was going to teach PE, to teach PE online is watching somebody perform online. That's going to be very difficult. It might work for adults, but for children, maybe the brother can give regular PE classes on how to dribble the ball and how to exercise yoga or whatever. But every member of the family will now have an additional role of being a teacher. Because this is one of the biggest crises also is the education industry. They are already projecting that 80% of the people are not going to go back to class. Imagine 80%. So
indefinitely, like no, until we find a vaccine.
Not only the vaccine, but because they don't have the money to go back, right? And they're scared to go back. So some schools are already projecting in that level, and this is really scary because now we're not just talking about financial poverty. We're going to be talking about learning poverty. There will be some group of people that will not be learning for a year.
Yeah, but that's so important to say. Education, when you think about it, it's impossible. We cannot not let our children receive proper education, and it has to be continuous. So it cannot just end because of COVID or a pandemic like this. It should be continuous.
Right.
I mean, definitely.
And everybody should get involved.
Right.
Even your grandparents can play a role.
Yes. I know learning. That's right, Prof. We're becoming teachers here at home. Even if before we would just help with the assignment, but now it's more focused. Like you have to make sure because it's not just gadgets to playing. It's really gadgets online. That's what's gonna happen now. That with my daughter schooling, we'll do online learning, and that's definitely something you all, of course, will be here. But will we be able to really focus? Or we need to. We have to. So as Sarah said, at the same time balancing the business and taking care of them. Imagine that mompreneurs out there, my gosh, this is a parent. Super, as in, it's balancing talaga. So we'd like to ask other viewers if you have some more questions. Yeah. Also, and then Prof, like, for me, I have a question lang, no? Like of course, here now with the, as you mentioned, with the businesses or what you showed in your presentation, the ones that are highs and lows or ups and downs now, which ones, in your opinion, would be the fastest to recover? Diba we had yung mga up highs and yung okay, the way okay naman on surviving, and those that are not so surviving. But who do you think the not so surviving will eventually pick up or recover?
Okay, the people that let's just put it this way: the people that are in the malls will have difficulty. Everybody in the retail malls will have difficulty. People going back to the malls will not be very, very quick. And if they do come back, it's not going to be. So if I were you, if I were in the food business retail mall, for example, then I would start to make it as a commissary and then deliver from that point, and just make the store as a commissary for delivery. If you are in the clothing line and all stuff, then you have to go online. No way aside from online. That's the only. And then you have maybe, and then now consider your sunk cost of rental to be your storage area, and start negotiating it. But if not, if you can get out of it now, then get out of it. So that try to unload all the. Unload
it's in
all
the mall.
Yeah.
But those who have businesses in the malls, what if they get their own, their own place that are not in the mall, but or actually now it's all online. Much better to go on and let no more rent and not just do it in your own homes, or if you can.
Yeah, the captured market now. Everybody is getting better in
the
technology.
Overhead.
And you have less overhead. You already captured everybody. Your only problem is focusing on who your target market is, so that you're
correct.
Not
Again,
going
back to that. Correct. Because it can't be that all. You have to choose. You have to be specific. The niche, as you mentioned.
Yep.
Right. Okay. All right. So done with the questions. Thank you, Prof. Jay. But stay there. Don't go away. We're just gonna go to the next raffle. But thank you for so enlightening us. Thank you. But we'll be right back. Now we're gonna proceed to the third raffle, guys. So are you with us? Okay. So it's now time to choose our first winner from our 200 winners. So we're gonna announce now our third lucky winner, and the third lucky winner of 1,500 GC from Nursery Van, and she is Ms. Fidelis Marie Corpus Zuniga. Congratulations! 15G for GC from Nursery Van, and stay tuned for instructions on how to claim. All right. So all those who watch, I'm thinking from your students are also watching.
I know.
Present and past students, and it's such an interesting topic. And when this topic, everybody, even mompreneurs or everybody, they want to know more, and it's good, especially during the time of uncertainty like now. It's good to learn from the best. And thank you, Prof. Huh? Thank you for
no problem.
Thank you for being here, for joining. Thank you. But so to our entrepreneurs, we hope you learned a lot from our session today. The mompreneurs and the small business owners, there's always hope. Just stay positive, and just like as I said, seek the opportunity, focus more on the opportunity, even in the times like this or times of crisis. So, but we know. So here we go. Even if it can be very difficult and stressful, let's just stay positive and keep an optimistic mind and heart, and so stay hopeful forever. So, and find other ways to succeed amidst this pandemic. So just keep in mind what Professor Jay shared with us today. Also, and if you'd like to go back, please watch again the video. Prof, we're gonna keep on watching and just learning, keep on learning and doing more and helping. And that's what I posted on when I was sharing with everyone about today's topic. It's how to be productive at the same time helpful during this time. So not just productive for you, for your own benefit, but you're also helping others. And that's also what you shared. But in the end, it's what you do that also helps the rest. So, but here, before we officially end today's session, okay, we still have Papalali over here. Okay, so we have Papalali 2000. Sorry, we have our grand prize winner of the 2,000 peso GC from Nursery Van. So are you guys ready? Okay. All right. And the winner is Miss Margot Inoncillo.
Yay! I know her.
Yeah, she was on the call. Yes, Miss Margot in Ontario. Congratulations. So congratulations to our lucky winners. And it's very important for you to be able to claim your GC. Please send a message to No Compromise Parenting's Facebook page, and they will let you know how to claim and use your GC at Nursery Van. Wow, Nursery Van has your GC. To all those who won, you can just already congratulations, Miss Margot, and to the rest. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so before we say goodbye to Sir Jay, Prof. Jay, what would be your parting words for our viewers, Prof?
Of course, stay safe. Be who you are. You are actually great. If I were going to bet my money, I would bet it on women entrepreneurs more than anything else. You are actually great. You know you are just nervous, but work on your ideas. I tell you, you are going to be, you are the people that will bring us back. So if you don't act, then we're gonna have a problem economically.
So we gotta do this. We gotta do this, mompreneurs, all together.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
There's always and all
Thank
your
you very
ideas.
much again.
Thank you. Thank you, CJ. Thank you very, very much. And we learned a lot today. Thanks, Professor Jay. And again, such a pleasure.
You're welcome,
Natasha. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care, Frank. Take care and stay safe and healthy always. So thank you so much, Professor Jay. We definitely learned a lot from you. Thank you again. And thanks especially to No Compromise Parenting and Nursery Van for making this possible. So again, please don't forget to follow No Compromise Parenting on IG at No Compromise Parents and Facebook, and be updated on the latest parenting tips and advices. So especially to those with questions that we weren't able to accommodate earlier, please make sure to check No Compromise Parenting's uploaded videos. And again, make sure to follow their Viber community for real-time advice and tips on parenting. Viber, real-time. And of course, don't forget to check out www.nurseryvan.com as well for your one-stop shop mom and baby essentials delivered right at your doorstep. So use your GC, those who won. Congratulations again to the winners. And to all those who watched today, thank you so much for participating. Thanks for all your questions. Thank you so much. And we hope you learned a lot. I learned a lot. Again, I was very excited from the beginning until now. So happy with everything that I've learned. And I hope you guys all had a great time. So thank you and see you again. Please stay tuned for our next webinars and let us know if you'd like to, for us to discuss any topic, and we'll definitely discuss that with the rest. So thank you. God bless and have a happy weekend, guys. Bye.
I have some students say, hi, Margot. Hi, Conti. Hi, Emily. Oh my gosh. Hi, Ivy. Oh my gosh.
All your students, more than
I even have male
Guys, you can now
students
unmute yourselves if you want to say hi.
Mark Chang, how are you?
Hi, Prof.
Yay.
Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Oh, hey, Emily.
Prof. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Hi, boss.
Oh, Mark.
Hi, Prof.
I'll call Angelo lang ha. He's gonna say hi also, Prof. I'll just call Angelo.
Sige.
Prof, inuman na tayo, Prof.
Oh, yun na nga.
Ito na nga.
Weekend eh. Nauna ka na eh.
Ay,
Pwedeng humabol.
biyahe ka na dito, Prof. Or inuman na lang tayo.
Tubig pa lang ako, tubig.
Ay, grabe.